And can this shoe be included in a data battle for daily trainers? Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex, and today we have a package. It just arrived. So let's unbox it quickly, and then depending on the shoes that we have inside, I think I know what these are, but depending on what's inside, we'll take them for a quick run. All right, not perfect, but a little change of setup doesn't hurt at times, I think. So, and here we have the GoPro filming as well to have a double kind of view. And here we go, let's unbox the package. So yeah, this morning I already did an easy jog, 10 kilometers, so 6.2 miles, 15 minutes per kilometer pace, so that's 8:30 minutes per mile, somewhere like that, something like that. I'll put the conversion somewhere on the screen. And yeah, I'm very excited for this pair of shoes, and I think I'm gonna go right now for a second run. Quick one, just to get the first impressions and see how these are. The box, I don't know if you can tell, SKECHERS, but what SKECHERS? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't know if you can see them. No. Here they are. Yes, the SKECHERS Razor XS on the channel. That's great. I'm so excited about these. Let's remove this. Look at this. Whoa, that's very lightweight. So cool. Very exciting. I'm gonna go inside, weigh them, do the Durometer test so I can have the data to share with all of you. And wow, the upper is so thin. That's crazy. I mean, today the monomesh uppers are getting thinner and thinner. The tongue is also quite thin. And let's see, very, very excited. Let's go back inside, do the measurements, and then let's go for a run. All right, so we're inside. Let's quickly do the Durometer test and the weight of the shoe. Let's see this right now. So weight-wise, and we're looking at a size US 11.5, EU 45. I'll explain why in my review, but I went half a size up. So let's see, for the weight, we're looking at 230 grams, so pretty lightweight in my size. Very good, but not a major surprise given how lightweight the upper looks. And overall, the Razor lineup from SKECHERS is pretty lightweight, so 230 grams here in my size, up. And now let's do the Durometer test. So I'm taking the Durometer out of its box. Here it is, and we'll do the measurements. Here we go. So I'm usually taking 3 points about here in the heel, separated by, a centimeter, half an inch. So for the Durometer, we are looking at 41.5, 42.5, and 38, it seems. I'm gonna put those values here in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so here you go. We have an average Durometer value of 40, so that's pretty hard, at least going at the bottom of the rankings. A bit softer than the Hyperion Tempo, but harder than, for instance, the Endorphin Speed, Vaporflies, and all the shoes, even harder than the Mach 4 upper layer, but a bit softer than the Mach 4 lower layer. So that's for the Durometer. I will put the results somewhere here on the screen. And now let's go for a quick test run with the shoe. And here we are back from the run with the Skechers Razor XS. But first, I just want to mention that thank you very much for all the comments you put down in last video. I really appreciated seeing all the shoes that you would like me to review, and it was really amazing. I have some of them are on the way. So they'll be here in the next few days, and I think we'll do a proper unboxing with many shoes that will arrive here in the next video. So stay tuned for that, because maybe the shoe you mentioned in the comments will be unboxed and will be then reviewed here on the channel. So yeah, something different, but we'll do like a mega unboxing, maybe not a fully dedicated video to that, but we'll see how it goes. All right, back to the Skechers Razor XS. Very quickly, the specs. So this shoe comes at 30 millimeters of stack height in the heel, 26 in the forefoot, 4 millimeters drop. It's quite high for a Skechers, and that's maybe one of the reasons for the name, the Razor XS. Maybe they took it from here. Who knows? 4 millimeters drop. And the first thing that comes to mind when you see the shoe is actually the way it looks, and it has that very pronounced rocker shape here in the forefoot. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really like crazy rockered. I have to compare it maybe with an ASICS shoe that has the Outsole type of shape. But this is really pronounced, and we'll come back to that in the ride, but you can definitely feel it. So this is what comes to mind. I weighted the shoe, you saw it earlier, at 230 grams in my size, US 11.5, and we'll also come back to that right now. Sizing, why did I pick half size up for this shoe? Well, most Skechers, especially in that performance lineup, can be very snug, and I wanted to be on the safe side. I went half size up, and I think that I did so rightfully. I'm not entirely sure how half size down would have fitted, but I feel like this was the right choice, and I would tend to encourage you doing the same if you consider this shoe. However, I also read in a few places that the insole that was in the shoe was not removable, that it was glued. It's actually removable. So if you want to have a very, very snug fit, and if you're comfortable with ordering maybe 2 pairs of Skechers and returning one, you can try your size, true to size, and then half size up. But if you want to be on the safe side, just order one. I would recommend to go half a size up. So, something to consider if you're in the market for this shoe. Very quickly on the upper, it's a mono mesh upper. It's extremely thin. And it's a positive because, very nice upper, very thin, but it's also a drawback in the sense that if your foot has a different shape, a different volume than the last of this shoe, then you may have an issue accommodating that very, very thin upper on your feet. That's the first drawback. Second drawback with the upper is that it's so thin, it's actually running quite cold, and it's not really cold here in Brussels. It's like 10 degrees Celsius, so something like 55 Fahrenheit, somewhere like that, you know, in the 50s. So not crazy cold, but still you could feel that this shoe is running pretty cold, so not designed for cool temperatures. Probably nice in the summer, I guess, although it depends on how breathable it is and how well it evacuates the sweat and the humidity in the shoe. But I guess it's pretty nice in the summer. That's for the upper. The tongue is extremely thin, and I would have liked a bit more padding. Doesn't hurt, and especially for a shoe that's already quite light, they could have added a bit of padding in the tongue. There's a thin layer of padding in the middle of the tongue from the inside, but why not putting that same amount of padding everywhere, especially at the top? You know, just my 2 cents, but something that could be considered. And then when it comes to the heel, that's actually the part that's the most padded on that upper. The heel counter is actually quite rigid and well padded here, you know, at the top of the counter. However, and that's also linked to the fit, that's my biggest drawback for the shoe, and I'm a bit spoiling the drawback section of the video, but the heel fit is really not great for me. It's loosey-goosey, you know, I could feel literally my ankle was moving in that area. Whereas the lockdown in the forefoot and midfoot is really good, and that's why I think I did the right choice going half size up. And I'm not sure that the heel lockdown is due to that little switch of sizes. I think it would have been the same in my size if I had gone true to size. So definitely the biggest drawback of the shoe is the heel, and I'm sorry because I'm already saying quite a few drawbacks between, you know, the upper and how it works with certain type of volume of feet and the heel, but you know, I want to be transparent, and the heel for me is a major drawback. But let's discuss the ride and the rest of the shoe first before drawing conclusions too fast. But the heel really for me is something that doesn't work, and it's far from even, you know, reaching the minimal standards of heel cups and of heel lockdowns. So really not great there. Now laces, very thin laces. I was a bit afraid lacing up the shoe because I thought that, well, you know, with that very thin upper, very thin tongue and very thin laces, you may end up not getting the lockdown and the lacing that you're looking for. It was okay, nothing to complain about. So laces are fine, and you know that I can be a bit picky with laces. So laces are fine. Now the plat de résistance, like we say in French, of the shoe, meaning like the main part of the shoe, is the midsole Hyperburst supercritical midsole, and it's very enjoyable. That's all I can say. It's very enjoyable. It's not really on the soft side of midsole, so I think the Durometer metrics that I will put again on the screen right now are pretty, you know, in line with the feelings, which is not always the case, but here I think it's pretty much in line with the sensations. So it's not really on the soft side of things in terms of ride. However, it's cushioned enough, bouncy enough, responsive enough, and all of those things in a very balanced way. So it's not like super bouncy, but at the same time super plush. It's not like super responsive, but at the same time very firm. No, it's actually quite balanced, and I think that's really the highlight of the shoe. It's the very balanced type of equation between having the cushion, having the bounciness, having the responsiveness, and all of that with one single layer of supercritical midsole. So, you know, I'm very pleased. I cannot say more. I'm very pleased. Quite reminiscent of the Hyperion Tempo, for instance, from Brooks 2020 shoe. They are very similar type of supercritical foams, so it makes sense as well. If you enjoyed the Hyperion Tempo from Brooks, you may very well enjoy this midsole and the ride of this midsole with a bit more stack. So I think, you know, the main thing here is that you have that midsole and that type of ride with an extra bit of stack, and that 30 millimeters. I wouldn't have said that it was 30, I may have said something like 32, 34, because it feels a bit higher, but works very well. And of course, you cannot forget about the rocker shape of the midsole. It's super crazy rocker and it works super nice. The transition between you know, your striking and that rocker type of ride and the toe off is very smooth. It's maybe not the highlight of the shoe, because I think the highlight of the shoe is the midsole, but that rocker shape works very well, and it offers a very smooth transition. At the same time, you don't feel like the shoe is taking possession of your ride and of the way of your gait cycle, of the way you're striking. You're still in charge. The shape of the midsole and that rocker geometry is not taking control of anything. You're still in command, and that's quite nice. Outsole, you have that very grippy Goodyear outsole. Very grippy, you know, and we've had some very grippy outsole recently on the channel. I'm thinking the ASICS Metaspeed Sky, very grippy. The ASICS HOKA MACH, very grippy. This is extremely grippy as well. So I'm very pleasantly surprised to see that companies are now finding ways to have very thin outsoles, because definitely the rubber isn't thick by any means. And at the same time, while being very thin, it's very grippy. And yeah, I mean, there's plenty of rubber, but it doesn't seem like a drawback to me, because the shoe is lightweight, and that 1 millimeter of rubber is not, you know, that bad. They could have removed the rubber, you know, here in the midfoot probably, and keep a bit here on the heel and the forefoot rubber, but that's okay. I mean, it works really well, and it's among the highlights of the shoe. Who is this shoe for? I'm thinking, you know, anyone who is training longer distances and who needs a very, you know, very forgiving, very nice, very gentle type of ride, while still being able to pick up the pace. It picks up the paces very well, and you're very quickly, you know, on your toes, pushing and moving faster and faster. So you won't be deceived here. You know, it's a very capable shoe, and at the price point, $140, it's very capable. I wouldn't say it's agile, but it's okay. And even if the fit and the heel are, for me, drawbacks, but you know, all the shoes have drawbacks. So this one has drawbacks too, but if the highlights make up for the drawbacks, then you can have what you're looking for. And I think, you know, for people training longer distances, for the long rides, and have something very pleasant, not boring at all, but not on that fun, crazy side, not too soft, not too bouncy, something balanced, something that you can trust and you can take any day, every day, for pretty much everything. It's a daily trainer in the end, and it's making its job quite well for a daily trainer. So if you're fine with having a more loosey-goosey type of heel, and maybe you're not living in regions where it's cold at the moment, and you can accommodate with that upper being so thin and running a bit cold, then you have a fantastic shoe for you. In terms of durability, I would predict the shoe can go past 400 miles, maybe not way above that. So you know, something like 700-800 kilometers, I would say. Why not more? I think the outsole is grippy, and that's fine, and it's probably not going to be the issue on this shoe. But I think in the end, just like with the Hyperion Tempo from Brooks, those supercritical foams have a lifespan that's limited, simply because their potential to deliver all the super cushion and everything is limited in time, and that's it. I mean, that's how they're built, and they're low density foams which have a lifespan that's limited. You have to acknowledge it and you know, decide also your purchase based on this consideration. How am I gonna use this shoe myself? I think stuff like longer runs would do the job well for this shoe. Maybe even, you know, recovery runs could work as well. I may try a tempo workout, who knows? I'm not sure I can do tempo work properly with that heel. I'm coming back to that heel, but I think that's maybe the limit of this shoe for myself. Those tempo paces will be the limitation, and that's how it is, you know. So yeah, there you have it, guys. First impressions of the Skechers Razor XS. And let me know, would you like me to include this shoe in a data battle of daily trainers for 2021, or in a shoe battle, like a, you know, one-to-one comparison with the points like we do here on the channel? I think it has the potential to go into one of these shoe battles and be a good comparison point, because it brings different things to the table. And some people may be better off with this shoe, and that's what we're looking for in the shoe battles with all the data. It's not necessary to say which shoe is the best, but which one works for you. And I think this shoe may work for some people. So I think, you know, it may be a shoe that I'm willing to include in a data battle for daily trainers. Let me know, would you be interested by such a video? I think it makes sense to have, you know, a data battle for the carbon shoes, for the tempo shoes, and for the daily trainers. And yeah, I think that's something we may have down the road. If you enjoyed this video, do not hesitate and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment. It's always you know, a big boost of motivation to see the likes, to see the new subscribers, and to chat with you in the comments. I'm really enjoying this. So don't hesitate to join the little community here gathering on the channel. In the meantime, have a good run today, a good ride. I am myself headed right now on the bike for an indoor session. And most importantly, take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and maybe chat in between in the comments. Bye bye.